Are we on? I get 3 cuts, right? Is this my better side or this side?
Yes.
Good answer. Hi, and welcome everyone. And hi, and welcome to all of you out there who's streaming live with us. I'm Michelle Dente, Vice President of Member Services here at ACE Parking. And I'm so excited about this program and the launch of this program. It's been years in the making. And it's, I want to give credit to the entire member services team here who helped me launch this initiative. It's just another way for us to continue developing our team members, encouraging formal as well as informal education. And so with that, I'd like to introduce Corey Guerrero, who is an educational liaison for Western University, who I'm so proud of to have a partnership with. And Corey's going to take us through, give us a little bit of an overview of Western University, why ACE partnered with Western University, and what is the benefit to partnering with Western University aside from the cost. And I'll turn it over to Corey, so please give a warm welcome to Corey Guerrero.
Perfect. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming today. So I'll go ahead and reintroduce myself. My name is Corey Guerrero, and as she mentioned, I'm a corporate education liaison with Western International University. And I think we have a little bit of background here. Oh, yes, please. Can you guys still hear me now? Let's see. So, like I said, the purpose of today's session is just to give you guys a general overview of Western International University, give you a little bit of background about our history as well as the partnership with ACE. So I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy schedule to meet with me today. And at the end of the session, we'll have an open Q&A. So if you guys have any specific questions about the program or West, I'm more than happy to address any of those questions for you. So just to give you a brief overview of our university, we're a university that's built specifically for meeting the individual needs of working adults. We actually have over 35 years of experience in this respective industry, and we believe that students should be able to get a much more economical and quality degree without having to go significantly into debt. So we're actually one of the top online universities in terms of our overall pricing, and all of our programs are designed to meet the needs of the global market and specific in-demand careers and industries. So just to give you a little bit of background, as I mentioned, we're an innovator in higher education. We actually have 16 online degree programs with a primary focus in business and technology. Some of the programs that we offer at both the bachelor's and master's level would be accounting, business administration. We have behavioral science as well as IT as some of our available degree offerings. All of our faculty are practitioner faculty members, so they're respective leaders in their respective industries, so they have a vast amount of knowledge and experience, and they're able to provide that real-world way of learning and directly integrate that into our curriculum here at West. And as I mentioned before, our tuition is very affordable. It's only $250 per credit hour for undergraduate level tuition and $350 per credit hour for graduate level tuition. And as we'll discuss later in this presentation, it's even more affordable for you as part of this partnership through ACE. But we're also accredited through the Higher Learning Commission, so we have the same level of regional accreditation status as many online and traditional universities out there. And our curriculum, you probably wonder why we're called Western International University. We get a lot of questions about that. They're like, do you guys have global campuses? No, we do not have global campuses, but however, all of our curriculum is designed with that global perspective surrounding global business. It's directly integrated into the curriculum. So you could go to a state university, you could major in global business, but all of our programs, including the business, behavioral science, any of our other degree offerings, have that global perspective directly integrated into the program. And our learning model, which is called Learn, Practice, and Apply, we'll go into a little bit more detail about that, but it's a proven methodology that helps you absorb new information, and then you're able to directly apply that new knowledge that you gain within your classroom. directly into your workplace and real-life settings on a consistent basis. So just to give you a little bit of background about our history, as I mentioned, we've been around for a little over 35 years. We were actually founded in 1978 in Phoenix, and we became regionally accredited in 1984. And we actually started off our first online degree programs back in 2001. And then by 2012, we started redefining our programs to meet the specific needs of working adults. We understand that working adults have a lot of responsibilities. Many of you are parents, many of you have other obligations outside of work, so that traditional classroom experience at a campus is not always the most feasible option for working adult learners. So we evaluated our entire learning model to make sure that it's not only flexible and convenient, but also affordable, so that there's not a significant elapsed amount of time to actually complete your degree with our university. And then in 2013, we actually moved to our state-of-the-art campus in Tempe, Arizona, and we started focusing solely on 100% online learning and corporate education. So that gives you kind of a general overview of the history of our university. And we've always had a commitment to quality. We're constantly reevaluating the different technology that we use for our classroom. We're reevaluating the programs, the curriculum, to make sure that it's in line with the specific industry needs and the marketplace specifically. And we have a very high quality education. We have passionate staff, including our faculty that, as I mentioned, are practitioner faculty. They all teach at many public universities as well as private universities. And they have a vast amount of knowledge that they are imparting to our students. And then we have a small advisement team in Phoenix, which consists of 14 advisors. And we're a very small but mighty team. But many of our advisors have actually gone through the programs, they're students, they're alumni, and they can actually share their personal experiences when they engage with you and help you find the perfect program that's an appropriate fit for your needs. And so just to give you kind of a summary of the value proposition of our university, as I mentioned, all of our programs are market relevant. They're based on the specific needs in the industry market. The program itself and the learning model is extremely flexible and convenient. It's designed to work around your schedule. There's actually no set times that you have to go into the classroom, so you can actually get on day or night based on your schedule to get everything done and kind of manage it as needed. And as I mentioned, we have a very supportive learning center education experience led by our quality team. And all of this is delivered at half the cost of most online universities out there. And something that we're very, very proud of is the overall satisfaction rate of our students. We have a very high rating in terms of the overall student feedback that we've received. As you can see on the left-hand side of the page here, this is our Net Promoter Score, which compares us to many other, unfortunately it doesn't compare universities. They don't actually have a Net Promoter Score specifically for universities, but as you can see in comparison to some of these other big name companies such as Samsung and Sony, we have a very high overall customer satisfaction rate. And many of our students have actually said that the faculty interactions were very engaging. They actually enriched the learning experience and made it a much more positive outcome for them. And overall, 91% of our students found that all of the education components were very enriching and helped them with their career growth and professional development as well. I think I skipped ahead a little bit too much here. And as I mentioned, all of our programs are focused primarily on career-focused learning. So as I mentioned, we're constantly reevaluating and fine-tuning our programs and our curriculum to make sure it's aligned with the industry standards. And the way that we do that, we have faculty that, like I said, work in those respective industries. They are very knowledgeable. They know about the different trends that are happening within those respective industries, so they're able to better evaluate and redefine that curriculum to make sure that it is aligned to those standards and to the specific core skills and competencies that employers are looking for. And as I mentioned, we have 16 online degree programs. We have actually associates through master's programs. And at the associates level, we have business. Bachelor's, we have business administration, HR, management, IT. And then when you get into the master's level, we actually have a few MBA programs. We have an MBA, general MBA. We have an MBA in management. We have an MBA in IT, as well as accounting. And then we also have leadership, human dynamics, and public administration as some additional offerings at our university. And for some of our bachelor's programs, particularly for the management and the behavioral science programs, there's also some optional minors that you can do. So if you wanted to minor in like HR or general studies or IT, there's a few different options that you can do to tailor that degree and not just do the major for that program. And as I mentioned, this is our learn, practice, and apply model. So with this, as I mentioned, it's a proven methodology that helps you absorb new information, and you're able to directly apply that into real-world learning projects. So basically what that looks like from week to week. So with the learn piece of your class, you typically have some chapter readings. There's usually 2 to 3 chapter readings for the week. There's some supplementary readings that you'll do for the week. And then there's some instructor-led videos, which are basically like pre-recorded lectures. And so you would go through that content, and then you would do what's called a knowledge check, which is a short quiz. And after that, you'll be able to practice that newly gained knowledge. There'll be some interactive exercises that you'll do. There's also a review quiz to test your knowledge and comprehension of the content that you're learning. And then that's when you would actually go into the apply piece, where you would have some discussions with your classmates. There's a discussion forum. You'll also be doing like a PowerPoint presentation or a paper. And every 2 to 3 weeks, you'll have an exam in place of an assignment. So like I said, this is a proven methodology that's really designed to absorb new information quickly, practice that information, and directly put it into real-world application with the projects and presentations that you're doing throughout your class. And as I mentioned, we have kind of a mixture when it comes to our faculty. Most of our faculty members are considered practitioner faculty members, which are out in the industry. They have relevant work experience. And then we also do have kind of a mix of the traditional faculty that actually teach at different universities and stuff like that. And they also teach online through Western International University. So some of the things that they bring to the table, they have that academic rigor. They have that research methodology on the adult learning practices, but they also have that real-world business experience that they're able to impart onto you. And they're constantly ensuring that the curriculum is in line with those industry standards. And so that takes us to the real exciting part about this partnership is our Educate program through Ace Parking. And really the ultimate goal of this partnership is to save you guys time, money, and help you achieve your degree much quicker without having to take significant breaks. A lot of times most employers, I know you guys don't offer any tuition assistance here, but most employees typically receive about maybe $5,000 in tuition assistance. And a lot of times they're having to take a few months off throughout the year until that benefit resets. So it ends up prolonging the length of their program. With this, we actually basically put a tuition cap annually, and you're able to take as many courses within that year for just half amount. So you're able to graduate much quicker within the process. And obviously the 2 areas of concern when it comes to completing your college degree, especially as a working adult, is the financial path to completing that degree. It costs so much money. I mean, most of our competition is about double the cost of our university. And with this partnership, we're even more affordable in terms of the benefit that we're able to offer to you guys at ACE. So as I mentioned, the primary concerns is the financial costs and the debt that comes with pursuing your degree, as well as the flexibility and convenience. You guys need something that's going to work around your individual needs and schedule. And with West, obviously with us being pioneer in online education and adult learning, this particular program is set to address those specific needs head on. And so, like I said, with this program, obviously we're one of the top online universities in terms of the actual pricing. We're actually ranked number 2 by College Scorecard in terms of the overall pricing. But with this, we cap it out at $5,250. So it's much more economical, much easier for you to attain those goals. And obviously, we have financial aid. We have other payment options to help you along through your program and pay for it. And just to show you what Educate looks like in practice, so here you can see the potential savings here. So for undergraduate, with our tuition rate being at $250 per credit hour, typically that would cover the cost of 7 courses annually. So anything beyond that point would be considered free for the year. And then at the graduate level, our tuition rate is $350 per credit hour, which would normally cover the cost of 5 classes. So anything beyond that would be considered free to you, and you wouldn't have to pay out of pocket for those tuition and fees. And we do have some schedule flexibility. A lot of our students either take back-to-back courses where they start a new course every 2 months. That's very common. Obviously, a lot of working adults, they can't take on a whole lot at a time. So you have a lot of flexibility with this, and you can always switch the schedule flexibility based on things that you got going on and what your schedule's like. So you could either do back-to-back, you could overlap the schedule and start a new course every month, or you could take them concurrently and have 2 courses start every 8 weeks. So to put that in perspective, if you were to just do back-to-back courses, you would be able to complete about 6 courses in a year. But if you were to do them concurrently, which is probably the more common, you'd be able to complete 12 classes in a year. So that's going to bring you well on your way towards graduation much quicker. It's going to save you a lot of time and money in the process. And so just to kind of outline the next steps and the general process to move forward with this program. So obviously the first step would be to engage with our advisement team. Like I said, we're small and mighty. We only have 14 advisors in the Phoenix area. But as I mentioned, many of them have gone through the program. They're students themselves. Many of them are alumni. And they'll be able to guide you along the way and go over the process. The process to enroll is very simple. You don't have a long, lengthy enrollment process. There's just a simple online admissions application that you would have to complete. And then we would go through the financial aid information and all the next steps for the payment piece. And then the second step would be attend and engage with your faculty and get immersed in all of the content and new knowledge that you're going to gain throughout your program. And then the last piece is the progress piece. Like I said, we're not restricting your progress because you have a very low tuition cost. There's no fees. Books are included in that cost of tuition. So you're ultimately able to graduate sooner and with minimal student debt. And this is just a sample of our online learning environment here. What you'll see on the left-hand side of the page here is our online learning platform. It's called Campus Cruiser. And it's a very easy to navigate system. Everything is broken down week to week. So all the course expectations, everything from week to week is broken down in the course player here. So it's easy to navigate and easy to manage your week to week responsibilities in the class. And something very exciting in terms of the feedback that you receive in an online setting. So for your papers and presentations, our instructors, they provide a variety of different forms of feedback. So they provide video feedback, they provide audio feedback, as well as written feedback. They also host weekly live sessions through Adobe Connect, which gives you an opportunity to directly engage with your instructor and your classmates, get clarification on some of the things that you're learning in the class. So if you're used to that traditional classroom setting, that's a great opportunity for you to engage in that way. And those, as I mentioned, they're optional optional sessions. You're not required to attend, so if you want to view the recorded link at a later time, you can definitely do that and use it as reference for another time. And we actually have a lot of different resources that are available to you as a student. I've just highlighted a couple of them here. We actually have live tutoring support that's available through tutor.com, and that's a free service for all of our students. The primary areas of focus would be in math, business, and English. If you go into this site, typically within 3 to 5 minutes, a tutor will arrive, and that could be any time, day or night. So if you're really struggling with a math problem or a paper, if you want to walk through a paper or a presentation with a tutor, they'll walk through it with you step by step to make sure that you're on track and give you some pointers and tips when it comes to your writing and research and everything for your papers. And then the other thing I've highlighted here is our career guidance system, and this is available for our students and alumni, and it provides resume building, interview tips, or interview prep and tips to help you when it comes to acing that next job interview and helping you get that promotion once you complete your degree with West. And another exciting part of our partnership, aside from the educate piece, we actually have a corporate training recommendation guide that we created. We did an articulation agreement based on your corporate trainings at ACE. So with this, you can translate those trainings that you've already completed or you might be completing later on down the road into potential college credits. So you could potentially receive up to 21 elective credits, as well as 12 general education credits as well. And this is just a sample of that. We actually have some handouts that will be given you today that have this information on it, but this is just a sample of some of the courses that you complete through ACE that can translate into some college credit. All this counts towards the lower division requirements for the program. And one thing I'll mention, when you're looking at that guide, not all of your trainings are represented on there. So if there's another area or another course that you took through ACE that you think should apply, you can actually send that to our PLA team at pla@west.edu, and they can review that and see if that might translate into some potential college credit. So just to give kind of a general recap of our presentation today. So as I mentioned, we're a quality online university with a long-standing history for over 35 years. We come highly recommended by our students, have a high satisfaction rate. All of our programs are designed based on the specific global industry market, and we're constantly retweaking that and reevaluating our programs to make sure that they're in line with those standards. And as I mentioned, there's small flexible components within our classroom environment, which is designed to work around your busy schedule and all your responsibilities. And as I mentioned, it's very affordable, and you're able to graduate much sooner with minimal student debt in comparison to other universities. So that kind of concludes my presentation today. Obviously, you guys have the handouts. I'm going to have my information. I have some of my business cards that I can give to you guys today. But for more information about the partnership, you can go to this website, which is west.edu/ACE parking. And then that's the phone number to our general advisement team. So in that case, I just kind of want to open it up to see if anybody has any general questions at this time.
How long are classes? Period.
They're 8-week classes. And like I said, you have the ability to either do one class at a time, or you can overlap or double up your classes. And in some instances, if students are really highly motivated and they're excelling in their classes, they could potentially triple up their classes. Now, obviously, that's not going to be a perfect fit for everybody. It really just depends on what you can manage. And the good thing is, to start, you just have one introductory course by itself. So that's going to give you kind of a feel for whether you can manage more than one class at a time. So, yeah.
If I can interject, I think the one point I would like to emphasize is this has been a personal goal of mine ever since I joined ACE, and these courses have been 8 years in the making. And through the years with the partnership with University of Phoenix and then Apollo Group acquiring University of Phoenix and Western, that's how we came to partner with Western University. These courses have always been a side and kind of personal interest of mine when I joined ACE Parking, because I always felt like as working adults, it's very difficult for us, and being a working adult myself, also being in school, continuing my formal education, I know how difficult it is to juggle family, work, school, all of that. So it was very important to me personally to try to bring this type of program to ACE and to help all of our members with achieving, that personal goal as well. So these courses have been developed over the course of my time here, and I'm so proud that we finished this up November, December of 2016, where we achieved articulation with Western University. And what that means is the courses that we developed here qualify as university credits. And I want to put that into a more of a practical example so you understand what that means. The Educate program guarantees every person who works for ACE $5,250, meaning $5,250 of one-year education. That's unheard of. That's like community college tuition. Okay, that's unheard of. Even if you go to a state college, you cannot get that type of pricing. Through our partnership, through being affiliated with ACE, that is guaranteed every year. It's a 4-year degree. Not to mention, if you take these classes through ACE, some of you have already taken these classes, believe it or not, throughout the years. You just don't know it, okay? These have now been certified as credit. And as Corey said, 21 of those are electives, 12 are for an actual, basically core classes. That's 33 credits. To graduate with a bachelor's degree, all you need is 60 credits. You've met 2 years worth already. So that is so powerful. You can come here, take these training sessions through the Learning and Development Department, and earn your credit. That doesn't even factor into the $5,250. That's free. Other things that Corey didn't mention, because there's just such, there's so many benefits to this program. Everything that you do today, your work, your daily, the things that you perform, your tasks, managerial responsibilities, anybody who's in management, you have working knowledge of business and finance. Those things that you do today are considered life learning already, life learning tasks that also qualify as credit. Okay, you'll just need to speak with an advisor, a counselor, put your portfolio together of all of those things that you've experienced through the years that you haven't actually thought about putting down on paper that actually qualifies. Claims management, okay, that is knowledge that you could put down. Auditing, tremendous business experience. We're offering 2 tracks here at ACE, okay? Although Western has like 14 degree programs, we're offering basically 2. The reason being is that we are offering the business management as well as the business administration track because the courses that we've developed fit into one of those tracks. Now, if you go the IT route or some other degree program, there may be a couple of electives in here that might knock out basically the undergrad or your first, general, if you will, requirements. But you'll still have to, take those courses to earn, your bachelor's, or bachelor's of science degree in that major. Okay, so I wanted to emphasize how special this program is. And it has never existed in any organization, and you guys should really be proud of that. Every organization partners up some type of formal university, formal program, but we went above that. We're not just partnering with Western, we're offering classes that have already been accredited through Western. So it's our way of giving back to you to say, you could expedite your degree here by staying here with ACE, and we want you here. And that's kind of the next growth and phase of our next managerial, positions. So if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to see a show of hands. How many of you just have not had time to really pursue your bachelor's degree and would like to participate in this program now? Like, how many of you do not have your bachelor's right now that would like to? Awesome. This is a great way for you to do that without sacrificing basically your job and without having to, spend countless hours at night kind of doing that. And this is going to help you get there even quicker. Okay. Any questions for Court? Will you mind speaking into the mic so the other people can hear you?
Yeah. So you were saying that you could do like a major and a minor?
Specifically, and my mic is not really working very well, guys. Sorry about that. What I was saying is for our management program and our behavioral science program, those 2 tracks offer an opportunity to do a potential minor. So for behavioral science, I believe there's a general studies minor that you can do. There's accounting as well as management. And then for the management program, I believe it's accounting, HR, business, and accounting, I think, are the primary areas. So you can minor for those 2 programs specifically. Yeah. And one other thing I did want to mention with regard to the articulation agreement, I know she mentioned that there are those 2 specific tracks. One thing I will mention is that regardless of the program, you could potentially receive up to 33 transfer credits, regardless of the program. So if you were able to bring in that max 33 credits, you'd be looking at about 87 credits to complete a bachelor's degree. So it'd be about 2.5 years at most. And also, if you guys have any prior credits, we can evaluate that as well from any other colleges or universities, as long as it's regionally or nationally accredited. Even any kind of, if you guys did any kind of trade type programs before, like we have people who did hairstyling or they did a variety of different areas, sometimes that can also translate into elective credit within your program. So we can definitely evaluate that for you as well.
How about massage therapy?
Surprisingly, you'd be surprised at the type of things that can come in specifically towards the elective area because they are open elective credits. So, and also if you have an associate's degree from a regionally accredited school, we can do a block transfer to bring in a minimum of 60 transfer credits for the program. So.
We have a question from.
We can't hear you. Want this one?
We have a question from the online viewers. For those who already have a bachelor's degree, is there a master's program that can be pursued?
Yes, we actually have a few different master's programs that are available. As I mentioned before, we have a few different MBA options. So we have a general MBA, we have an MBA in management, MBA in IT, MBA in accounting, and then we also have leadership and public administration as some available offerings too. And for the master's programs, those are only 39 credits and 13 classes, so it takes just roughly about 15 to 16 months to complete a master's program. Or even quicker, if you guys decide to double or triple up your classes, you can graduate in less than a year. So
for the master's program, is there also an annual cap on that as well?
it's the same. It would be $5,250.
Oh, okay.
So normally that would cover the cost of 5 classes. So if you were doubling up your classes, you could complete a total of 12 classes
So I can
annually.
complete 12 classes just for that $5,250 then?
Correct. So if you did that, you could graduate in a year or less.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you have a virtual or online textbook store? I mean, how do you deal with textbooks and things like that?
Yeah, so we actually have ebooks, which are included in the cost of tuition. If you prefer having a hard copy textbook, we do have a link on our website where you can purchase a separate hard copy textbook. But otherwise, you can just print it and you can highlight it. You know, we have a lot of students that just print it and they like to highlight it, but a lot of people like to have that copy in front of them. So, no.
Great questions. Any other questions? Yes, Maria.
If for any reason we separate from base parking, would you raise the, can we continue with the 5250?
So that is a good question. I don't think that we have it set up, you know, in a way that you could continue with the benefit. But the good thing is our tuition is already very affordable. So if you're doing an undergraduate program, it's only $6,000 annually. So it'd only be difference of $800. Obviously, you would reach that cap much quicker, so you wouldn't have the ability to take courses beyond that point. But it's still one of the top 2 private universities in terms of costs.
And that's a great question. And when we kind of went through the design of this program, it was deliberate to say you have to be working with ACE because all this knowledge, we certainly don't want to lose that. All this, you know, work that we've done is we want to keep you here and we want you to continue to grow with ACE. And this is an investment, you know, from ACE to you. And therefore, we would like for you to continue growing and developing here with ACE.
Okay. So while taking a course, there's a set time to complete that course?
Yes, so the courses are 8 weeks in length. So it's not a situation where if you master the content, you can move on to the next course or anything like that. But you do have the ability to work ahead on your assignments. So as long as you're posting within the attendance requirements, you can work ahead as far as possible within the class.
And let's say for that afternoon, I get started on my next subject, and then all of a sudden, hypothetically, the surf picks up and I want to go catch some waves or something, I can stop the assignment and then come back to it?
Absolutely. That's the best part about it is there's no set times that you have to get in the classroom.
Okay.
So you can kind of manage your schedule as needed. The classes, the week start on Tuesday and end on a Monday. So everything is just due by 11:55 p.m. the following Monday.
So to clarify for Tom, there are no set classroom hours. You just need to log in, is it 1 or twice a week for attendance purposes, Corey?
Yeah, so for the attendance requirements, the knowledge checks, the quizzes, the exams, all of that count towards the attendance requirement. And you just have to do a minimum of 1 attendance activity in the first 8 days of your class, and then after that within 14 days. So as long as let's say you want to work ahead on all the quizzes, the exams, we've had students that work all the way ahead to week 8, the first week of their class. As long as you save like your assignment and make sure that you post within those attendance requirements, you have the ability to work ahead as needed.
So Tom, essentially, after you work here at ACE, you can log on at midnight, and that will be fine. Okay, just make sure.
And like I said, the tutoring support is also available 24/7. So.
Okay.
So it's self-explanatory as far as it guides you through as you complete the assignment, says, okay, now go do this next section, or you need to get this written. It's all self-explanatory, right?
Yeah, and I can go back to the slide that I had here is the presentation still live? Okay. Let's see.
And then while Corey is doing that, I'm going to impromptu here and call upon Mimi to talk about her experience with Western University, because she is a current student. So Mimi, would you mind kind of coming up here and just, sharing with everyone basically the user friendliness of the portal, the site, logging on, and the ease of use?
Come on in.
Okay. Are you being serious? So just talk about my experience?
Yes. And you need to talk into the mic.
Okay. I find it pretty easy to log on to school after work. I don't know what to say. I don't know.
Okay, I'll ask the questions. How easy is it to use?
It's pretty easy to use and navigate through. It's like self-explanatory.
Does it have instructions? Does it walk you through, for Tom's purposes here? Is it pretty easy to follow?
Yeah, it's got instructions, and then before you start school, I had somebody from West call me and walk me through how to navigate through the system.
How easy is it to contact a counselor, an advisor, or someone from Western University to get help?
It's pretty easy. They have online chat where you can talk to somebody, and then you can also call and they give you a call back the same day. So, unless it's the weekend.
Sounds good. And, is there, how, you could log on at any time, I imagine. So whether it's late at night, early in the morning.
Yeah, you can log on at any time. You just have to make sure, like he said, you post for your classes.
Perfect. Any other questions? Tom?
So is it like a normal school? Do you feel stress while you're taking the course?
I feel stressed, yes, because I don't like school personally.
Okay. Optimism. Maybe. Oh, did you go? I'm sorry. Did you have a question? Okay. Any other questions?
How long do, previous bachelor credits last for?
Your previous bachelor's credits
Yeah.
with West, or?
Yeah, just in general.
Or
So
just in
let's say
general?
if I got a BA like 10 years ago, will those credits still be able to, transfer and count, or do those credits expire at any time?
Absolutely. So as long as you we're regionally accredited, so you're never going to have to worry about the applicability of the credits. The one thing that I would say is if you're doing like an IT track and you stop attending, and let's say 10 years down the road you're wanting to go to another university and finish your bachelor's degree in IT, obviously the standards, the curriculum, they change. So in terms of the transferability of those credits, it may vary based on the curriculum at that particular university, but yes.
I think what Josh was referring to, correct me if I'm wrong, Josh, is basically if you were already awarded a bachelor's degree, can you then now apply for your master's, and that should be a yes, right? Okay.
Absolutely.
How, is there a certain after a period of time do those credits expire? Well, not expire, but aren't.
With
Yeah.
our university, or?
Yeah, like will they be like, oh, you took business administration like 10 years ago, you need to retake it.
Let's be clear, were you awarded a degree? Because those degrees never go away.
Not
Yeah.
a degree, but so like if I took, let's say, a business administration class 10 years ago.
You completed 3 years worth, you need to finish up one more year, can those transfer into West? Is that what you're saying?
No, more like if I took one class, right? And to get my MBA for here, I need to have taken that class. Is there, would those credits be like, oh, well, the curriculum for that class was, so long ago that no longer can get credit for, you have to retake that?
It depends. It depends on how far along you were in the program and how much the curriculum has changed within the program. Because we reevaluate the programs and the curriculum every year. So if 10 years go by, there could have been some changes to the program and the curriculum. So we just have to evaluate that on a case-by-case basis. But no, it would more than likely be able to apply to some area within your program, though. No.
Yeah, but I just kind of want to be clear. If you already achieved and were awarded a bachelor's degree, the next step for you is to apply for a master's program. And if your school was regionally accredited and you've obtained your degree, then it's just a matter of being accepted into the master's program. Okay. Right. Making it difficult. All right, any other questions? Tom?
Okay, so for an ACE course, AP 109, I think that's the one I was looking at, business, or 107, business writing, 10 semester credits, that's a 8-week course? No?
No.
So that's a great question. So now we're talking specifics, and Corey, help me out if I'm speaking out of turn here. But when you look at the credit guide here, as Tom pointed out, business writing can get you up to 10 semester credits. It will count as an elective. So depending on what track, what degree program, that's going to take off basically, 10 units from the required program. So the required program may be 120. I'm sorry, I misspoke earlier. I said 60, but it's 120
Correct, yeah.
units typically. So you wipe out 10. If you take it here with A's, we give you credit for it. Through Western University here, that wipes out 10 credits.
All you would need to submit is just like the training hours and any kind of certificate of completion that comes with that particular training course that you completed at ACE. And like I said, there's some courses that are not represented on this corporate recommendation guide. So if there's another course that you took, just submit it to our PLA team and we can review it.
Okay. So one more time for those viewers outside of San Diego streaming with us, can we repeat the contact number of anyone who has any other questions who didn't ask today or maybe think about later? What is that number?
I'm going to pull it up here as well. There it goes. So that's 1-866-831-0775. And you can also take a look. We actually have a landing page specifically for ACE Parking, which is west.edu/ACE Parking.
Yeah, and so this is basically a free number that we've set up here, just dedicated to ACE. There will always be someone who's going to answer your questions. But just so that everyone know, here at the Corporate Member Services Office, Monica Lopez, Monica, raise your hand, is our contact and is our liaison with Wes. So if you have any questions, you don't want to call the 866 number directly, feel free to contact Monica Lopez. You can send her an email at mlopez@aceparking.com, or call the member services office here, and she can direct you or get whatever information you need and put you in contact with a West University representative and academic counselor or advisor. Okay. Anything else? Well, awesome. Well, thank you, Corey. Thank you so much for flying out from Arizona, and appreciate you being here with us today. And thank you, all of you guys, for attending. This is an awesome program. You might have saw the press release that went out yesterday, so be very proud of working here at ACE and the program we're offering. So thank you for attending. Thank you all out there. Okay.